Jenna Van Gelderin was born and raised in Georgia, where she spent her early life surrounded by family structure and consistent routines. By the time she disappeared in 2017, Jenna was 25 years old, a white female standing 4 feet 11 inches tall and weighing approximately 140 pounds, with dark hair and brown eyes. From childhood, Jenna experienced social challenges that shaped how she interacted with the world and those around her. During elementary school, Jenna was diagnosed with a nonverbal learning disability, a condition that affected her ability to process social cues and communication. Despite these challenges, she continued to develop independence within clearly defined routines. In 2016, Jenna received an additional diagnosis of high-functioning autism, a condition her parents said reinforced her reliance on predictability, structure, and familiar patterns in daily life. According to her family and information later shared through the Charlie Project, Jenna was known to be highly trusting and eager for connection. She often struggled to recognize harmful intentions in others and was described as easily influenced. At the same time, she was deeply attached to routines and specific responsibilities, particularly those involving family and pets. These traits made sudden changes especially distressing for her. Because of this background, Jenna's disappearance would later stand out as deeply alarming. Her family immediately recognized that leaving without explanation or essential belongings was entirely out of character for her established behavior and patterns. On August 18, 2017, Jenna Van Gelderin was staying at her parents' home in the Druid Hills neighborhood of Atlanta, Georgia. Her parents were traveling in Canada, and Jenna was house-sitting while caring for their elderly cat, Jessie. That evening, Jenna left the house at approximately 10:30 p.m. to meet a friend. She later returned to the home at around 1:15 a.m., according to information provided by her family. At approximately 2 a.m., Jenna sent a text message to a friend who lived in South Carolina, stating that she was going to bed. This message would become the last confirmed communication from her. The night passed without any reported disturbances or calls for help. Later that morning, a veterinary nurse arrived at the residence to provide medical care for Jessie. After receiving no response at the door, the nurse contacted Jenna's brother, Will Van Gelderin. When Will arrived, he found the door locked. He entered the home and immediately noticed that the lights and television were still on. Jenna was not inside the house. Her phone, handbag, suitcase, and vehicle were also missing. There were no indications that she had informed anyone of plans to leave or travel. These observations marked the first realization that something was wrong. At that moment, concern replaced routine, and uncertainty entered the family's understanding. When Jenna Van Gelderin was discovered missing, attention turned to the condition of her parents' home in Druid Hills. Inside, the house appeared largely undisturbed, yet several details stood out. The lights and television remained on, suggesting the home had not been intentionally secured for an extended absence. Jenna herself was nowhere inside. Along with her absence, several personal belongings were missing. Her phone, handbag, suitcase, and her dark blue 2010 Mazda 6 were not located at the residence. At the same time, other everyday items remained behind, reinforcing concerns that her departure was unplanned. One of the most unusual discoveries involved a hand-stitched Egyptian tapestry displayed in the living room. The textile, a family heirloom dating back to the 1940s, had been carefully removed from its frame. Investigators observed that the glass display case had been tampered with. A corner of the glass appeared to have been cut and later placed back into position, seemingly to conceal the removal. Despite its age and sentimental importance, the tapestry held little financial value. No other valuables were reported missing from the home. There were no documented signs of forced entry or obvious struggle. These findings added confusion rather than clarity. The careful handling of the tapestry contrasted sharply with Jenna's unexplained disappearance, leaving investigators with unanswered questions. After Jenna Van Gelderin vanished from her parents' home, investigators examined phone records and vehicle data to trace her movements. Her primary cell phone last registered activity in Fairburn, Georgia at approximately 7:45 a.m. on August 19, 2017. Around the same time, her dark blue 2010 Mazda 6 was reportedly seen in the northwest or west Midtown area of Atlanta, creating uncertainty about her location. While reviewing her records, the family discovered Jenna had been using a second cell phone not connected to the family's mobile plan. This device, registered under her own name, last connected to a Fairburn cell tower at approximately 7:15 a.m., about 20 miles from her parents' home. At the same time, a license plate reader in Atlanta captured an image of Jenna's vehicle. This raised questions about whether she was traveling with one phone while the other remained elsewhere, or whether she was separated from both devices. Neither scenario could be confirmed. Neither of Jenna's two phones has ever been recovered. One was a T-Mobile device registered under her father's name, while the service provider for the Android phone remains unidentified. Jenna was not officially reported missing until August 20, 2017. Her parents, Leon and Roseanne Van Gelderin, became concerned after being unable to reach her and learning that no one had heard from her in nearly 2 days. Roseanne stated it was completely out of character for Jenna to go so long without contact, emphasizing her strong attachment to routines and to her elderly cat, Jessie. When Leon and Roseanne returned home on August 21st, they noticed several essential belongings still inside the house, including Jenna's sneakers, phone charger, and makeup bag. These were items she would not have left behind intentionally. Roseanne later recalled immediately sensing something was wrong, reinforcing the family's belief that Jenna had not left by choice. On September 5, 2017, Jenna's Mazda 6 was found abandoned on DeFore's Place in northwest Atlanta. The vehicle was unlocked, nearly out of gas, and covered in debris. Inside were Jenna's handbag, suitcase, and clothing. Police observed the driver's seat pushed far back, inconsistent with Jenna's height. DeKalb County Police Captain Anthony Ford stated this suggested a taller individual may have driven the car. Despite the unusual circumstances, no additional forensic evidence was recovered from the car. After processing, the vehicle was eventually returned to the family. While inspecting it, Jenna's brother will discovered a phone charger that did not match either of Jenna's known devices. This discovery added another unresolved detail to a case already filled with uncertainty that to trouble investigators and family. Roughly 6 months before Jenna Van Gelderin disappeared, her life had entered a period of instability. She had been fired from her only full-time job after being charged with misdemeanor theft for taking $3,000 from a pet store. Her parents believed she took the money under pressure from friends they felt were manipulative and not acting in her best interests. Concerned about her social circle, Jenna's father reviewed her phone records and confronted her about the people she was spending time with. This led to growing tension between Jenna and her parents. Shortly afterward, she moved out of their home without telling them where she was living. Authorities later discovered that Jenna had been renting a room from a friend. When investigators attempted to search that residence, the roommate refused entry. He reportedly planned to dispose of Jenna's belongings due to unpaid rent for September 2017. He has not been named as a suspect in the case. On the evening of August 18, 2017, Jenna allegedly visited her boyfriend, who later told investigators that he ended their relationship that night. He also made claims that Jenna was involved in drug use and sex work. These allegations were unverified, and no evidence has been found to support them. Her theft charge was her only confirmed legal issue then. Despite extensive investigative efforts, the disappearance of Jenna Van Gelderin remains unsolved. DeKalb County Police conducted numerous interviews and executed multiple search warrants, yet no conclusive evidence has explained what happened to her. Law enforcement has stated that no definitive signs of foul play have been uncovered, though many critical questions remain unanswered. Both of Jenna's cell phones have never been recovered. One was a T-Mobile device registered under her father's name, while the second Android phone was listed under Jenna's own name, with its service provider still unidentified. A $50,000 reward was later offered for information related to her disappearance, but tips have remained limited. 5 years after Jenna vanished, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation renewed its request for public assistance, urging anyone with information to come forward. Officials stated that even small details could help advance the case. Throughout this time, Jenna's parents, Leon and Roseanne Van Gelderin, along with her brother Will, have continued advocating for her. Leon described their efforts as a daily commitment to keep Jenna's name visible and pursue answers. While the family has acknowledged the painful possibility that Jenna may no longer be alive, they remain determined to uncover the truth. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers or the Georgia Bureau of Investigation tip line immediately today.